I am Chelsea O, the host of The Scene on BTPM The Bridge, and today I am joined by Western New York's VOYAGR, and there are 5 of them. Hi, guys.
Hey.
We're going to go
How's it
around and
going?
have everybody introduce themselves and what they do in the band.
My name's John. I play drums. I am the go-to admin person for the band as well.
My name is Rachel. I'm singer-songwriter, and I run our social media.
I'm Joe, electric guitar.
AJ Jabaji, singer-songwriter. And I'm Drew Shannon. I am the bass player.
Excellent.
And songwriter, too. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Can't forget.
You write songs with us.
Multiple roles, I think, for everybody within a band, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
especially in today's day and age where we all have to be our own admin,
Yeah.
our own marketing, you know?
We all know what our roles are, and I think that's one of the reasons why it works out really well, is because we all know what we're supposed to do, and we don't overstep each other and all that.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's already like one of the biggest keys to having a healthy band relationship.
Yeah.
Right. And you guys have been around now since 2022. Is that
Correct.
correct?
Yep.
Okay. You released an EP back then called Think of You, and you've been really busy. In particular, this summer, I noticed you played a few different festivals. You did the Black Bear Americana Fest, you did North by Northeast in
Correct.
Canada, and you also did the Taste of Country. Has this kind of felt like a gradual rise for you guys, or has it almost felt like all at once suddenly you're getting this recognition?
I think it's been gradual, but it's been nice to see the work pay off. We started as a trio in 2022, mostly out of necessity because we were kind of developing, these original songs, but also like at the time when you don't have a catalog to play, you're pretty much limited into, where you can play in terms of we were playing a lot of breweries and coffee shops. But as we've been able to develop a catalog over time and kind of build up that resume, so to speak, we're able to get into the kind of festival and venue environments. And so that's been really cool. And I think this past year was a great example of kind of that direction, starting off, just trying to build something and then each year building on top of that until you kind of get to bigger and better shows.
I'm looking around because I'm like, who should I address? So guys, feel free to
Yeah.
step forward, whoever is most relevant to the question.
For sure.
So are you all Buffalo natives?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Because when I first got into your band, it seemed like maybe you were spending time between Buffalo and Denver, Colorado. Is that accurate?
Oh, yes. So basically, we have been taking a band retreat once a year, every year since we've started. So our first band retreat was in Denver, Colorado. That's probably what you were referring to. So we wrote our first song as a trio called Born a Believer, which is also the title of the album. That was in Denver as well. Like, we had the song written there. They finished it on the flight home, right?
John finished it on the flight home. I wanted to, but he just beat me to it. And
So-
John doesn't really get too much into the songwriting, so for him to just be on that flight, and I was like 2 or 3 rows behind him, and I was hoping to just text him, do like Bluetooth notes sharing or whatever, and we would just write, but no, he ended up beating me to it. I came back from a bathroom break, and he was like, yeah, I already got the song done. I'm just like, fantastic, let's hear it.
So that was Born a Believer. And then the following year, we went to Nashville. Our buddy Jonah, he has a studio down there, and he is our producer for our music. So we were able to record our first song all together in that studio, which is called Scars. And then we took a band retreat this past year to the Adirondacks. So we kind of try to find some time and space where it's just us and we're getting away from our day-to-day and kind of focus on our goals, our expectations for the year. And like John was saying, like, it was kind of like in the beginning, we had a couple songs here and there, but then it really kind of started to flow and we had more and more songs and songwriting that was under our belts. So we found that these band retreats really do help with our songwriting and like our goals for like the whole year, because we like to kind of go year by year. And that's where we kind of stand with that.
So a band retreat, not only for the songwriting, but I imagine perhaps you're playing shows then while you're in these different locations as well. Is that true? Because
We
I-
try.
I could see that being helpful as far as widening your audience.
Yeah.
Yes, we try.
We did that in Nashville last year. So we were able to, we did a acoustic show at this really great coffee shop called Prickly Pear Coffee.
Oh, it
And
was so good.
so when we were in Nashville, we played down there. We did I don't know, I think it was an hour or two acoustic set on their outside green, which was really cool. So yeah, if the opportunity presents itself, we definitely take advantage of it.
Cool. And speaking of Nashville, you recorded this upcoming album that's coming out in Nashville?
It was mostly produced in Nashville.
Okay.
Scars was tracked entirely in Nashville, like Rachel said on one of our band retreats. Our buddy and Buffalo native, Jonah Kroll, has a studio down there. And so we track all of our parts remotely in Buffalo, send them down to him, and then he produces, mix, and masters it all down there.
Yeah,
Very
and
cool.
Scars, I wrote, and when we were down in Nashville, it was us physically in the studio, all doing our parts. And usually it's us separately in our houses doing it. So it was really cool. Like that song is special to me just because it's like the third song I think I wrote, but also we were able to kind of do it together as a band versus like separately and sending it through email. So that song is actually really cool for that reason.
So the primary songwriters of the band are who?
Myself, Rachel, and Drew.
Okay. And then, but does everybody contribute ultimately?
In some way, shape,
In
or
some
form,
ways.
yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
kind of call myself the rhythm police because they have incredibly strong melodies, but I'm a percussionist and I was classically trained, and I'm kind of like, I'm probably the most experienced when it comes to music theory.
Yeah.
So sometimes
100%.
they'll come
I
up
gotta
with
see.
licks. I'm like, oh, that doesn't really make sense rhythmically. Right. So
Yeah.
we all, like AJ said, we all kind of contribute in our own ways.
I'm always fascinated by the songwriting process, especially with a group of people, because I know everyone does it differently.
Mhm.
And sometimes, like you said, you're doing it at home. It's like some people independently just write and then bring it,
Yeah.
and either everyone contributes or you already have parts pre-written that you want people to follow. But then, like you're saying, it's like if you notice something, it's
Mhm.
like, I'm not going to play it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really cool. This upcoming album, Born a Believer,
Mhm.
the title, it seems like it is a compilation of everything you've released so far, plus a few new songs.
correct.
Okay. And I think what's cool about debut albums, because this is technically the debut album,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
I feel like they always say that a debut album takes a band 10 years to make, right? That's the industry saying, just because it's like everything you've done, you have a lot of time to think about it and choose the material you think will work best, what have you. So can you tell us a little bit more about those songs? And I just would love to learn more.
Yeah, I mean, we started out back in 2022, and I had a song that I had released individually called Lover's Lie. And that was probably that and Oh Brother were songs that I had written and came to the table with saying, hey, these are already released, but how about we kind of like reimagine them? And that was really the start to Voyager back in 2022. And then Rachel came in with Think of You, and then we started writing together. And I would say that, yeah, Lover's Lie was probably the first song that we released. And that was probably, I mean, it's got 30 something thousand streams, I think, now. And just to see it kind of go a long way, it's been really cool. But all in all, we have all of these songs that we've written over the past 3 years, and we decided to put them all together. And then we felt like once we had 10 songs, that would be a good stopping point for the album, and that would be a good starting point as well for what we're going to do in the future.
And
Yeah.
what's kind of funny is our 10 songs, I put in quotes because we had 10, but then like we end up writing more. And we mentioned Drew, like our bassist, he wrote some songs. So if you want to share some of that.
Yeah, I mean, so I started playing with the band about a year and a half ago. They welcomed me in with open arms, and I've had a pretty long musical background. And I don't know, the one about this time last year, I came to the table with, hey guys, I've got this like song that I've kind of cooked up, and they're like, let's hear it. And then lo and behold, the few days later, we were tracking Go On and Get Out. It's an awesome song. It's a great song. But I've helped out along the way with different things. AJ likes to refer to me as the lyricist. So him and I will have conversations, and out of those conversations, we'll come up with, I'll come up with words for a song, and then he's the melody master, so he can take those words and really add the color, add the music to them, and make them really pop and get that emotion to them. So it's really cool. And then Rachel brings in her songs, her nuggets of songs. Like, hey, I have this melody. Can we do something with this? We've done some really cool stuff. Probably one of my favorite stories about a songwriting experience was we were sitting in our basement and we were working on a different song.
Yeah.
And then at the end of us working on one song, I started picking on the guitar, and Rachel just came up with the song out of nowhere. And within probably 10 minutes, we had the song Hold Them Close, like done, which was awesome. So it's been a really cool journey and a really fun dynamic between all of us when we do get in the room and can write together.
Yeah, and Hold Them Close is a song about family, and I've been wanting to write a song about family for forever. And when he started playing this rhythm, I was just like, the lyrics just came to my head. So I started writing them down, and then I just started singing it. And then they both were like, stop, we need to like figure this out. So then we ended up finishing the song that night. And it's on our album as just like a voice memo. So it's not produced crazy. It's not a full band. It's just two voices and two acoustics. So it's really cool to see Drew shine in this way because, like he said, he's been here for like a year and a half now. And then we also have Joe, who just tagged along as well, and he's our electric player. And so he has also a music background. Do
Yeah.
you want to share some about yourself?
Yeah, not a classically trained musician by any means, but I started playing saxophone probably, what was it, 2015. Played for about 6 years, so pretty strong melodic foundation from saxophone. And then I transitioned to guitar in college, and I've been obsessed with electric guitar since. Had a convenient timing around COVID where I was able to really dive in and learn all of the nitty gritty about different music theory and different approaches you can take to a number of styles. So it's been real fun to just learn how to apply that. In Voyager, I've started playing with them this summer, and it's just been a wonderful experience. So I'm looking forward to see where it goes.
You guys mentioned coming up with that song in a very short period of time. I kind of feel like some of the best songwriting happens in those lightning
are.
round moments
Easily.
where it's
Yeah.
like you're not
100%.
thinking about it. It's
Yeah.
just whatever comes out of you is what comes out. And I feel like those are kind of the songs that end up connecting with people and
Yeah.
feel the most sincere.
Yeah, and that's what we're about. We just want to connect with people on like a real level. Like, hey, I'm going through this, or hey, I'm grateful for this, but let's write about it, and hopefully they can connect with people on those levels.
Yeah, I think like the biggest thing when we came into this was we want to write music that is real authentic that people can just relate to. Because in the commercialized machine, right, sometimes there's not a lot of depth to the lyrics. There's not a lot of depth overall, and I found myself not being able to relate to a lot of things, and so. Then I started getting into like the singer-songwriter folk kind of genre and like really understanding like, wow, there is a whole new world to songwriting. And so being able to just say, hey, we want to write music that me and you can relate to, whether it's dealing with grief, whether it's dealing with relationships. I mean, Drew and I, we back in November, I had gotten out of a relationship, and me and him, we were just on the phone for a good half hour, 45 minutes, and then this is at 11:30 at night, and then we get off the phone, I go to bed, and then the dude texts me in the morning. He's like, this came out of our conversation from last night. I know that there's a melody begging to be sang, and so I just started looking at the lyrics and flipped a few things around, but the melody just came out, and that's for Sinking Ships. That's I believe our final song on the album.
Yep.
And yeah, that song in and of itself is really just processing kind of relationships, and it's different from Go On and Get Out and Devil That You Bring, because those are a little bit more like you're talking about the anger side to, you know, getting over a relationship. However, this one was more of like, okay, this is the final aha moment. I've moved on, I've processed it, I've acknowledged it. And so that I'm super thankful for all of Voyager and the songwriting that we do. You know, it's a team effort.
So let's talk a little bit about your show that's coming up. We actually had Stephen Babcock in the other day, and he
Yeah, we
mentioned
love
how
Stephen.
excited he is to open up. So it's November 26th at Ironworks. That's actually the eve before Thanksgiving, right?
Yep.
Big party night
Yes.
in
Yes.
Buffalo.
Party night of the year.
We're ready.
Yeah.
Come party
So-
with us.
Yeah, let's hear a little bit more about this show and who else is playing on it with you and what we should expect.
Yeah, so it's like you said, November 26th at Buffalo Ironworks. We're stoked to be playing Ironworks because we've seen some of our favorite bands at Ironworks. Literally, like the year before Voyager started, AJ and I went there to see the band Wild Rivers, who we take a huge influence from. They were the first venue to give us a show. They were the first venue we played at. We opened up for this really great artist named Josh Malloy back in 2022, I believe, or 2023.
2022. Yep.
Mhm.
And so we're excited to be back there and headlining. We have Frankie White, who's an amazing singer-songwriter from Vermont. She now is in Nashville. She's on the bill. And then, like you said, Stephen Babcock as well, who we all admire, is just an incredible indie pop singer-songwriter that needs more recognition for sure.
Yeah, we were trying to have like a vibe, right? So when Frankie came to us, and then we were like, okay, she fits our vibe. Who can be in this with us? And like I had no doubt that Steven would fit right in because he has like he almost has his own sound in a way too, but it's just all very cohesive, and that's what we wanted. So we're very happy with our lineup.
Cool. And for those at home, where can we find you on the internet?
Yeah, we are everywhere. VOYAGRmusic.com is our website. From there, you can get to our Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Spotify, all streaming, YouTube, you name it. We're just about anywhere. You can find us at Voyager Music or Voyager_music.
And Voyager without the E.
That's
Yes,
correct.
without
Yeah.
the E.
VOYAGR.
Yeah, important detail, because I think there's another Voyager with an E, but I think it's vastly different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think that they're a band out in Australia.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this
You
is
would
the
know that.
Buffalo. Yeah, right.
More
the
like
Buffalo
synth pop or
Voyager.
something like that.
Yeah, they're synth pop, something like that. But they were around in like I think the 80s or the 90s, something
Pretty
like
good,
that.
actually.
Oh, Joe likes them. Joe likes them.
I was just saying, no shade. No shade to the other Voyager. But yeah, Voyager without the E from here in Buffalo. Well, thank you all for joining me today.
Thank you
Thanks
for
so
having
much
us.
for
Thank you so
having us.
much.